Hey yo! Welcome back to the Dugout and Beyond. So we just got our MLB trade deadline finished a couple days ago, and as always, there were certain people throughout the last month or so that were most likely going to get moved. Maybe the team is just not doing great, and they offer you a lot of money to turn down, and sometimes it just is in the cards for you to get traded that year. It's all business. It's a business, but based on talent, of course, because you had to make up a good package for people to get. But of course, there were some big names traded to other teams this year. Let's start off with the biggest one he had was for Juan Soto. He has gone from the Washington Nationals along with his I'm guessing buddy Josh Bell. Both are going have been headed to the Padres, and they also got closer from Milwaukee, Josh Hader, and just the utility man Brandon Drury, who's been around to a couple of different teams by now. And the Padres got rid of Luke Voit. I think they sent him to the Nationals. And Taylor Rogers, who got sent to Milwaukee. So, yeah, and they also extended Joe Musgrove. I actually don't remember how much that was. That was a big deal. I think that was like 8 years or something. But yeah, this was definitely one that kind of shook it up. This happened, I think, a day, like how many days? I think probably about a day or so right before the deadline happened. So of course this is massive and was definitely the one thing looked at a lot. And there was a chance actually we didn't think that Soto was going to get traded because of just how weird and petty the Nationals were being after he turned down the deal. Which was 15 years, $440 million, I think it was, or something like that. Yeah, so they definitely won with, of course, many great players. And yes, they got rid of some sort of struggling players. So, yeah, definitely did good. And next is my team here, the Yankees. It's saying here, actually, I like what they said here, that they kind of checked off what they really needed. They got a left-handed hitter, basically in switch for Joey Gallo. Hopefully we have Andrew Benintendi from the Royals. He also played for the Red Sox, which, if you are a Yankee fan, you know that we're rivals with them. So it's kind of weird kind of funny how it's like very secretly how he just came from the Royals. He was on the Red Sox, which was, but yeah, whatever. So he should be a good left-handed hitter and take in place of Gallo. Well, of course, I want them to bring up some other younger guys who I know can do it, like Andujar, who's a good, solid. When he gets his hits, he can get a bunch of hits, and he's a good outfielder. They also got Frankie Montas as a starter from the A's, and they also which kind of like the guy. All right, like we lost the Castillo deal, went to Seattle, which I'm sure is in this list. Yes, it's right there. So getting him is just about that same step. We also got Louis Trevino and Scott Efros as bullpen helpers, and they also moved Jordan Montgomery in place of Harrison Bader. So Montgomery went to St. Louis, and Bader came here, of course. But Bader is, of course, hurt currently, so he's not playing yet. The Twins added starter Tyler Mahle and reliever, two relievers, Jorge Lopez from the Orioles, and Michael Fulmer was from the Tigers, I'm going to say. Yeah, they were very quiet with that, but hey, and this is just picking out the player you want. and just hoping, of course, it works in the next 3 months of the season. And for most part, these teams are all very much in the, of course, you got the Yankees best in the league, but unfortunately are falling down a little bit. They have to kind of get their groove back again and start pushing for that last 50, 60 games that they have. But yeah, most of these teams are all basically contenders. That's usually who you see making the big moves and buying and stuff. That's why you see a lot of teams losing players, because they're not really in contention, and if they do it, they're kind of hoping to get in and kind of wasting their talent, but whatever. The Phillies got Brandon Marsh as a center fielder and Noah Syndergaard as a starter from the A's, not from the Angels, and David Robertson was from the White Sox, I think he was. And they also, I don't know if they gave really anyone up for them. Yeah, no, I think that they kind of just added to it and just probably sent people down. But they were not crazy, like, thought of like, oh wow, like, that was definitely a move for them to make. It was kind of all surprises, a lot of bullpen, a lot of arms. But for a team that kind of needs that in their on their team, definitely a good thing to get. As I already mentioned, Seattle got Luis Castillo. This was about a day or so before other trades really started happening. This was kind of like the kickstart. Like, all right, we got one big trade going. Went through. Where like, this is gonna kind of set up for other teams. I think that actually kind of set up for what the Yankees are doing. All right, if we don't get him, we're gonna go get this, and this, and do that, and all this. And of course, happen with other teams. I always just think of the Yankees because I'm thinking of the players that they're, of course, trying to get and don't want. The Mets got Vogelbach as like a DH. And they also let up, I was kind of sad to see this, but they let up J.D. Davis, went to the Giants for Darren Ruff. I was really not, I was like, actually, my family, J.D. Davis was always that very consistent guy, never did way too much. He always just did his job, was always there. That was kind of hard to see him go. But, as in the beginning of the video, it's a business. It's going to happen. These players can literally be back on the other team when their contracts are over, or whatever the deal is. Free agency, it doesn't really matter. There is a chance that they could all be back. And with Hader going to the Padres, they gave up Tyler Rogers, so Tyler Rogers is now in Milwaukee. And we have Merrifield went from the Royals to the Blue Jays. Honestly, it kind of makes sense. They're right there, and Merrifield is such a consistent bat and fielder, and he's plays basically all the time. So it's kind of like you're investing in someone that knows how to keep themselves out there. And I'm going to talk about that one after this. Red Sox traded Vasquez to Eric Hosmer and Tommy Pham, but they kept J.D. Davis, and Vasquez actually was saying in a conference like, hey, things can happen. It's a business. As I just said, my contract's up a couple years. We don't know what's going to happen. So, to go back to this one deal that was made, there was no one traded, actually. It was just taken. Basically taken off our hands. We had, as a Yankees fan, if you were living anywhere near New York and just watch baseball and just see it, you know Joey Gallo was 40 home run hitter in Texas, comes over to New York, us having short porch for him. We think it's going to be the best thing for him. Hit 60 home runs. It probably couldn't be farther from the truth what happened. I remember one of his first home runs. It was literally, I'm pretty sure it was at like a 85-degree angle, straight up, and he jumped, and he swung like straight, but the ball hit up perfectly to make it look like it went like directly up, and he jumped with it. It was weird. If you don't like, if I'm describing it very weird, because I am, you can look it up. And I'm no joke, looked about 25 times. I'm like, how did and the ball went out by this much? That, like, if it wasn't short report, that would have been a pop-up. That would have been a casual pop-up somewhere. Everywhere, actually, because that ball really went over. Very, very surprised how that went over. But it did. But hey, he's going to the Dodgers. It's kind of weird, one big market team to another big market team. But hey, maybe, yes, I look like I'm like 15. I still look young, but like it gives me something. I think that he might have lost his power from his beard that he had to shave when he came here. If Gallo ever sees this, Gallo, man, as a New Year fan, we're not even disappointed. We just feel bad. Like, we obviously wish you could have done well here. Those boos were like, we don't like you. They were more of like, come on, we got it. Like, we were pulling for you the entire time. I know you might have taken those boos hard at the stadium. They hurt. I definitely can, as a New Yorker, I know I've heard that there's deep feelings when it comes to that, and you don't ever want them to boo you. But hey, we're here for you. We want you to do well and get your shit back and get your stuff back. Maybe being out of the city is gonna help them. You never know. Actually, we might know now because you're not here anymore. But we wish you luck, man. We wish you luck. If you ever see this, I don't know. Yeah. So, those are big trades that happen, and hey, you never know. They could, a lot of them can help, a lot of them might not. And we'll see in October, November. See what we have. Well, thanks for stopping by and watching. If you want, like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.